超速英単語
tourism, resource, chat, species, nerve, depress, reflection, literally, overseas, prior, western, withdraw, amendment, civilian, harbor, grand, delivery, bin, spare, structural, circumstance, concrete, enhance, fragment, scheme, margin, biological, ladder, conventional, embarrass, cable, friendly, contemporary, quote, objective, organize, stake, possession, statistic, pregnancy, hang, module, poll, exhibit, compose, soil, inquiry, commission, transition, assign, excess, undergo, guideline, consideration, dimension, interior, outcome, enterprise, sustain, abandon, compensation, theater, fascinate, proportion, leap, sweep, variable, boost, precisely, counsel, laboratory, reckon, holder, win, institutional, presentation, symptom, consultant, fundamental, chamber, witness, troop, preference, advance, consult, rural, tissue, stimulate, assessment, clause, manufacturer, researcher, trigger, pregnant, effectively, devote, criticize, specify, acquisition, undertake, buyer, critic, pretend, regulate, particular, firmly, evolution, register, tackle, environment, neglect, recognition, substantial, satisfaction, supplier, label, participant, virus, multiple, domestic, destruction, empire, criminal, filter, assess, stick, master, technical, regardless, underlie, interpretation, submit, instance, currency, construction, originally, core, factor, protein, welfare, mix, crack, coverage, portion, breed, motivate, primarily, that, luxury, cope, community, immigrant, crucial, bias, wipe, pitch, overall, stock, investment, resistance, phenomenon, jury, site, qualification, convention, sale, tender, secondly, segment, reverse, partnership, potential, liability, suspend, distinction, secondary, swing, diversity, barrier, procedure, vital, version, convert, aggressive, component, divorce, retirement, fellow, resolution, primary, exception, resign, dialogue, estate, onto, legislation, prime, incident, transform, deficit, output, aircraft, provision, respectively, experimental, threaten, cast, keen, scan, ban, defense, employer, strengthen, abuse, monitor, draft, premise, extract, previously, exceed, comprise, opposition, boom, asset, snap, investor, peer, moral, entitle, attendance, narrative, judgment, versus, personnel, project, volunteer, massive, motion, wage, generate, wealthy, liberal, creation, forward, harm, root, mate, hence, furthermore, executive, contract, complicate, quadrillion, institution, whereas, outside, restriction, definition, spin, transfer, refugee, consume, recommendation, jail, motivation, say, found, complexity, province, comprehensive, equivalent, stain, indication, initial, revise, mayor, perspective, evil, pension, compound, expenditure, formation, odd, accord, initiative, extension, purchase, summarize, reference, presidential, perception, database, significantly, mode, operator, panel, export, regional, jump, allege, counsel, ally, evaluate, racial, scholar, insure, urban, sector, cough, bid, consumer, dam, estimate, surprisingly, historic, criticism, awareness, parallel, justify, subsequent, radical, concept, mixture, sexual, somewhat, organic, profile, neighbor, exposure, promotion, implementation, interaction, billion, down, adjustment, potentially, analyst, consequently, budget, arise, though, whilst, restrict, cancer, numerous, far, corporate, trillion, offense, county, finance, infection, throat, revolution, theme, isolate, advertise, extensive, mine, user, campaign, substance, leadership, identity, specifically, supplement, bloody, state, carbon, approximately, involvement, grain, initially, contribution, preparation, implication, investigate, dramatically, import, flexible, listener, grab, manufacture, mechanism, competitive, capability, representation, intellectual, organization, survival, criterion, hopefully, weight, rear, functional, inflation, gesture, genetic, territory, probability, cause, reaction, boundary, react, constant, faith, revenue, external, derive, obligation, infant, recognize, framework, illustrate, agenda, incentive, priority, eliminate, expert, tail, prompt, confusion, frequency, relief, insight, salary, liquid, assumption, decade, content, neither, assure, therapy, expansion, sanction, remark, attachment, situate, clinical, prospect, insure, transportation, compromise, servant, subsequently, designer, standard, veteran, crisis, category, regard, plot, colleague, typically, cooperation, format, quintillion, embrace, controversial, environmental, vary, energy, intervention, reputation, make, currently, impose, surgery, contribute, genuine, presumably, conservative, publisher, opponent, interpret, illustration, household, connection, anxiety, regret, ratio, true, theoretical, cluster, license, actual, gear, characterize, program, hypothesis, gaze, favor, expectation, bind, emphasize, voter, addition, voluntary, correspond, anticipate, significance, alongside, payment, stability, relevant, acknowledge, outline, participation, apologize, exclude, attribute, reliable, clothing, publication, necessarily, laughter, defeat, dedicate, rival, ease, deep, behavior, recruit, capacity, shareholder, qualify, mission, privilege, God, exhaust, negotiation, scope, beat, dispute, labor, specialize, negotiate, phase, hell, virtually, integrate, substitute, peak, quantity, perceive, highlight, evolve, alter, ethnic, similarly, historian, advisor, retail, uncertainty, pose, density, depression, psychological, division, want, ultimately, employ, hook, add, toward, emphasis, ought, discipline, slight, counter, yield, limitation, dominate, universal, accommodation, server, consistent, venture, random, variation, modify, storage, demonstration, firstly, characteristic, trial, reasonably, favorite, edit, adequate, input, distinct, employee, inside, continuous, detect, bend, focus, amaze, evaluation, analyze, profit, percentage, weird, disorder, neighborhood, since, fulfill, imply, trust, realize, tough, identify, ownership, constraint, sound, advocate, corporation, loan, sequence, unemployment, minister, constitute, hint, thirst, update, tension, mortgage, entry, implement, seal, reform, shift, honor, abortion, elect, innovation, data, grin, faithfully, sensitive, incorporate, participate, federal, chip, moderate, dismiss, index, penalty, wed, formula, gene, equation, stroke, registration, compute, mature, gently, routine, facility.
高評価、チャンネル登録もよろしく。